Hello, dear students. I hope you're all doing well. This is teacher María Milagros, and in this video, you will find a re-recording of the class that we saw today, Friday, January 14th, concerning understanding macro and microeconomics. Let's get started. It's a really short class. Remember that we also discussed the evaluation plan. So if you haven't copied it yet, make sure to do so. It's available, or it's going to be available in academia during this weekend. So let's get started. The first thing that you need to know, and that we saw somehow last term, was that economic activities occur at many levels. You can consider individuals, regular people like you and I, households, that means families. You can also consider businesses, governments, and nations. It's like when you go to your supermarket or your parents go to a supermarket, they're individuals that are engaging in an economic activity with a business, in this case, the supermarket, and that economic activity benefits the household where these individuals live. And that's just an example. When the US government was the example that we gave in class. When the US government decides to buy new tanks or new weapons because they're preparing for war, it is a government in representation of a nation making a purchase. So it's an economic activity that a government has with the business that sells these items that I just mentioned. So economic activities occur at many levels. Because of this vast range of study, economics is divided into two broad fields of study because it's too wide to be encompassed just by one discipline. So economics divides itself in two, mainly called microeconomics and macroeconomics. That means that even though both of them are related to economics, they're going to study different things. We did this exercise in class. We had to drag these words in green to the correct field of economic study. We did it together. And in this slide, you're going to be able to find the correct answers. So because of what the prefix means, micro, small, macro, large, big, broad, then you can see here that words like small, local, and specific are related to microeconomics, and broad and large go hand in hand with macroeconomics. Remember that all slides identified with the blue star must be in your notebook. The same thing with this exercise right here. We had 6 words: households, individuals, unemployment, gross domestic product, businesses, and inflation. And the correct answer was just this. Something important, inflation, as you know from our workshop, is when prices increase fast, and gross domestic product is an economic indicator that is used to discuss the economic well-being of a country. It's actually the value that all goods and services that are produced in a country add up to. So you can use that as an indicator to see if a country's economy is doing well or not that well. Then, as a result of this exercise, we can briefly understand that macroeconomics is bigger than microeconomics, right? Therefore, it encompasses the large scale aspect of economics. What is a large scale aspect? A region, it can be a state or a region, it can be a nation, and it can be the whole wide globe. So global is also something the macroeconomics studies. In what form? Well, it can study national income. Income is like when you earn money, you have a source of income. Your job is a source of income, source of money that you're receiving. So national income is the income of the whole population of a given country. Then you have unemployment and you have production. Production is related to enterprise and the production of goods and services. For example, up until a few years ago, many factories produced masks, N95, KN95, cure or surgery type masks, antibacterial hand sanitizer gel. But since COVID, those products have had a huge increase in production because of the situation we're going through. So macroeconomics would study how the production of, let's say, KN95 masks in China has increased, or how many companies worldwide are producing this type of mask and how it has created a positive economic impact. For example, production is part of macroeconomics. So as its name implies, macroeconomics focuses on the large-scale economy, whether it is regional. It can be either state or a group of states. For example, here in Venezuela, we talk about the Región Andina. And what states do you find in that region? Well, Trujillo, Táchira, Mérida, etc. Same thing. You can have either one state, for example, Texas. So you would study the Texan economy, or you can study a state, region, sorry, a group of states. Then national is related to countries. For example, if you want to study the economy of Germany, that is what macroeconomics does. If you want to study the economy of Europe, you can also talk about a whole continent, the American continent, the African continent. That is something that macroeconomics does. And also global, which is related to the whole planet, all or most of the countries on Earth. So how has COVID-19 impacted the economy on a global scale? How many people have lost their jobs or switched jobs? Or how many companies have opened up and created alternative job posts? That belongs to the macroeconomics domain. It's also concerned with how the entire economy may grow and shrink, more or less what we have been discussing. So in the same way, what is the effect that COVID-19 has had on the global economy, on a global scale? After businesses starting to open up again, how has economy started to grow or recover from that very abrupt losses that happened? Macroeconomics for you. That is macroeconomics, sorry. Then we're going to see, on the other hand, microeconomics. So microeconomics studies individuals, households, and businesses. As you can see, it's a reduced scale. So it's going to focus on the smaller or more specific aspects of the economy. And it specifically studies how economic choices of individuals, households, and businesses affect the allocation of resources and prices in an economy. Allocation means distribution, all right? So microeconomics is going to be in charge of studying how the choices that individuals, families, and businesses, the choices that they make, how they affect the distribution of resources, and how they affect prices in an economy. We also did this exercise. The correct answer was this. We had to classify the following questions and match them to the correct field of economic study. So why is the price of this brand of cookies rising? Microeconomics. It's a business. It's a very specific brand. Therefore, it's a very specific company related to economics. Why is the supply of SD cards so low? Microeconomics. Why is this economic crisis so long? Macroeconomics. Inflation, macro. Household income changed in this region. It's important because this is tricky. If you see the word household, you're tempted to think, oh, household, microeconomics studies household, so I think it's micro. But look at the question. How has household income changed in this region? That's going to be our keyword here. region. So since macroeconomics studies regions, that goes in this classification, not in microeconomics. As you can see, this class is very, very short, although the discussion in class was very interesting and not that short. Please remember to copy in your notebook all slides identified with the blue star, mainly theory, slides 2, 3, and from 8 to 12, and then check your understanding 5, 7, and 14. If you need something, remember you can contact me via email. I'll see you in our next class or video. Take care. Bye-bye.